Good morning, students. So we are going through the topic asexual reproduction. In the last class, I explained you about the fission. I explained you two types of fission, binary fission and multiple fission. After that, I explained you budding, how in Hydra the budding takes place. The outgrowth like bud-like structure develops, and after it get mature, it detaches from the organism body, that is Hydra we see. Next, we see the example of fragmentation with the we see with the example of Spirogyra how the fragment get detaches and each and every fragment develops into the new organism. Next, lastly, regeneration, like the lizard, the tail of lizard. If it will get cutted off, then again it will get regenerate itself. Okay, so today I will explain you about the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means in which the plants asexually reproduce by the vegetative parts. What are the vegetative parts of the plant? Roots, stem, and flowers. So vegetative propagation can be takes place by two types, that is natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. Naturally, as the name is naturally, the vegetative propagation which takes place naturally without the human interference is called as natural vegetative propagation. So you can see in natural vegetative propagation it will take place through leaves, through stems and by roots. First we will see the example how do the vegetative propagation takes place through leaves. See, this is the leaves of Bryophyllum. Here the adventitious bud-like structures are developed. Here the bud-like structures, or you can say the adventitious bud-like structure is developed. When it get detaches, it is present in the notch, or you can say the margins of the leaves. When it detaches from this leaf, it will develop into the new plant. Okay. Next, how do it takes place by stem? So in many plants, underground stems like the plants of potato, ginger, onion, grass, these are the underground stem. So annually, in the favorable condition, whenever they are getting the favorable condition, annually means once in a year or twice in a year, they produce the aerial shoots. Okay, so this is the example that vegetative propagation, or you can say the natural vegetative propagation, takes place through stem. Next, via roots. Via roots, like roots produce adventitious buds. These are the adventitious buds. It will again get detaches from the plant's body, and it can develop into the new plant. So this is the example of sweet potato. Next, we will see the artificial vegetative propagation. Naturally, as the name is telling, where the human interference is there, it will not take place naturally. When human we used to do human, or you can say we used to do by our for our own benefits, that natural that artificial vegetative propagation. So next we will study artificial vegetative propagation. So to prepare plants with desirable characteristics, we go through this. We will see how many types of artificial vegetative propagations are. So basically there are four types. First is cutting. Cutting means in this method small part of plant is cut and buried partly in the moist soil. That we do in the rows. We used to cut the plant from the stem. हम लेते हैं ना कलम रोज की, as like that. We are cutting the plant from the and we are just cutting a small part of a plant and buried it in a moist soil, and this definitely that cutted part develops into roots and grows into the new plant. Example: rose, sugarcane, and potato and cactus. Next is grafting. Grafting, you will taking two closely related varieties of plant in this. In this method we will use in grafting. Suppose in the same plant, if you want the both color of the if one plant bears red flowers and another plant of the same variety bear yellow flower. Now you want in a single plant you want yellow flowers also and red flower also. So by the process of grafting you can do it. See here the rooted part is called a stalk. The rooted part of the plant is called a stalk, and the upper part which has to be cut, that is called as scion. Okay, so when we want to graft, we will what we will do, we will cut it from the middle, that the scion and stalk get apart, and after that to another plant stalk, we will tie this scion. Okay, this is one plant, this is one plant. I want in this plant, I want the characteristics of both plant. So what we will do, we will cut this scion, and here also we will cut the scion and throw it, and of this scion we will join from the stalk of this plant, and just wind it tightly with rope, or you can say the cotton rope, you can say, you can wind it tightly. Okay, so two closely related varieties of plants joined together, that they live as a one plant. Like you can do these only in the mango, apple, lemon, you can do this. Next is, what is layering? Layering, you can see the example of layering in the hibiscus, or you can say the jasmine. What will happen, the plant is growing, when you what you will do, in this method, a branch of a parent plant is buried in the soil. Suppose this is a plant, this is a parent plant, this is a parent plant. Okay, so these are the branches. So if I am taking this branch and buried it into the soil, okay, this long branch we are taking and buried it into the soil, after few time you will see that from this branch the roots gets develops. So this is called as layering. In this method, the branch of a parent plant, suppose this branch of a parent plant is buried to the soil, we are just burying the branch of a parent plant to the soil. The portion of the branch which is in contact with the soil, this portion which is in contact with the soil produces roots. Here the roots get automatically develops, and this rooted branch is called as layer, and this will be called as layer. Okay, and now layer is detached from the parent plant. After few time, this layer get detached from the parent plant, and it develops into the new plant. Okay, so next and last technique is the last technique of artificial propagation is the tissue culture or micropropagation. Here also I have written this because this question may ask like, what is tissue culture or what is micropropagation. So what you will do, first you have to take the explant. What is explant? Explant is you can take the explant from the meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues means the growing tissues. You just isolate the explant or meristematic tissues from the plant as a explant. Cells of the tissues which is isolated from the growing tip of the plant, growing tip of the plant is called as explant. Any meristematic tissues, meristematic tissue means growing tissue. Obviously the growing tissue is responsible for the growth. So that is called as explant. You just take out the explant from any plant and just put it into the culture medium. Here the culture medium is there. You just put that explant into the culture medium. After some time, you will see that this culture medium provides all the necessary nutrients that the plant is needed. Okay, so after a few time, you will observe this explant develops into callus. Callus is what? Undifferentiated mass of cells. So this is develops into callus. Now we will transfer this callus into the another nutrient medium which contains hormones, which is responsible for the further growth and differentiation of the plant. So we are transferring this callus into the another medium which is having the hormones which regulates the growth, further growth of the plant. So now that callus grow into a new small plantlet. Now this plantlet you can take out from here, from this culture medium, and you can transfer, or you can transplant it into the soil, and after few time when it transplant into the soil, it will become the mature plant. So this is how this technique we can do in the laboratory. So in the laboratory, definitely the plant will be the disease free plant we can produce from this technique. The plant will be disease free because it will free from all disease. It is free from all the bacteria, fungi, because it is in the laboratory conditions. It is kept on the laboratory condition. Okay, it is protected. It is being protected from the grazing animals because it is in lab. So many benefits of this tissue culture, or you can say the micropropagation technique. Basically, we used to do this micropropagation technique for the ornamental plants such as orchids. Next, we will study about the what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of vegetative propagation. Okay, now we will see the advantages of vegetative propagation. First, it is a rapid, cheap, and easy method for reproduction and multiplication of plants. It is very rapid, it is very cheap, and it is very easy. Disease-free plants can be produced. Disease-free plants that not in all cases, only in the case of that micro-propagation or tissue culture, because it has taken place in the laboratory conditions. So definitely the disease-free plants can be produced. Next, superior quality of fruits and flowers can be produced by grafting. So that I told you, to produce superior quality of flowers and fruits. If we want the two different color flowers in a single flower, we can achieve it by the process of grafting. Next is the genetically identical plants are produced, because it is the asexual mode of reproduction. Definitely, it produce the genetically identical plants. Next, plant raised by vegetative propagation can bear flowers and fruit earlier than those from the seeds. Definitely, the process is somehow fast. So it will take less time as compared as to the plants which are produced through seeds. Next, what are the disadvantages of the vegetative propagation? First, overcrowding. Vegetative propagation causes overcrowding and excessive competition of the plants. Next, propagules. Vegetative propagules means the vegetative parts of the plant that cannot be kept for the long, otherwise it start decaying. So preservation can't be done for the long time. Okay, disease contracted by the plant spread to all its daughters. Definitely, if the parent plant is having any disease, it get transferred to the daughter plants also. Next, no new variation appear in the progeny. Obviously, the variation will not appear because the plants are genetically as similar as to their parents. So variations are not there. Definitely, if the variation is not there, then their susceptibility towards the environment is less. Therefore, the adaptability, or you can the susceptibility to the environment, to the change in the environment decreases, or you can say it is very less. Last point, vigor and vitality decreases with time. So this is all about the micropropagation. So today we completed this topic, micropropagation. In the next class, I will explain the last topic of asexual reproduction, that is the spore formation. Thank you for today.